I think it must be. Okay. So we're good to here, right? So we can then use the zero product property to set each of those factors equal to 0. And then we can subtract 1 and divide by 2. And then just subtract 1. But remember, we're not solving for a, we're solving for sine of x. So let's replace our a with our sine of x. And then to get the x by itself, we just do the sine inverse. Okay to there. If I go and I look at my unit circle, I see that sine inverse is equal to 1/2 at pi over 6, and also at 5 pi over 6, and is equal to -1 only at -3 pi over 2. So these are our answers for part A. Okay with that, Delaney? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put a negative there. Thank you for asking, Jesse. So far, so good? Okay. To get my answer for part B, is negative infinity to positive infinity. So here, all I need to do is just add on a 2 pi k to each of these. That, Delaney? Part C is it, what is it, -2 pi to positive 2 pi? I forget. Yes? Okay. And it's brackets on each of them, right? Okay. This thing? So that just says where k is a member of the integers. So it's telling us what this k is. That's like the member of a set. Oh, ha! No, that's the integer symbol, like the z with the double bar in it. Bridget. Yeah, I mean, you can make it. Sometimes you can make it simpler than that, but that's the initial step. Always. Sometimes there's more to do where you can combine two of these answers and like shorten the interval from 2 pi to something smaller. But this is always correct. Okay. So if k That's the initial step. Sometimes you can combine answers, like two of these answers could combine and then make a shorter interval instead of 2 pi, maybe making it 1 pi or half a pi or something. But you can't do that on this problem. So this is it. Okay. For part C, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use values of k to get answers that fall in this interval. So k equals 0, I know all of these answers are in that interval because these were the answers from 0 to 2 pi, right? So the only part I have to worry about is the part from -2 pi down to 0. So there I would need negative values for k. So if I do pi over 6 minus 2 pi, I get negative 11 pi over 6. If I do 5 pi over 6 minus 2 pi, I get negative 7 pi over 6. And if I do 3 pi over 2 minus 2 pi, I get negative pi over 2. If I tried negative 2, all of the values would be too small, so I know I'm done. So I have these 3 answers, and then these 3 answers. Okay with that? So I'm plugging k in, that value for k into this, and evaluating. So I'd have like, well, if my interval is from 0 to 2 pi, I already have those, right? That's when k equals 0. I know all those answers already. I figured them out. The part that I still need to worry about is from negative 2 pi, 0, right? Those are the answers I haven't found, if there's any there. So should my answers be getting bigger or smaller? Smaller. So that's why I did negative 1 is the next smallest number after 0. Exactly. I mean, you're talking tomato there. Whatever way makes sense to you. Well, if you just like subtract 2 pi from each of these answers, that's fine. That's going to give you the next set of smallest answers, right? Isn't that what you're just saying? So if you just took this answer and subtracted 2 pi, you get that, right? That's all we did. We just found the next smallest coterminal angle to that one, right? If you did it again, it would be too small. No. It's always going to be by whatever this piece is, not this piece. Is that what you were asking? Caroline, I see you. I'm going to get to you. I just want to clear this point with Delaney before we move off of it, because I wasn't sure if I actually answered the question. Okay. Caroline. Okay. So in part B, all of the answers can be plus 2 pi k at the end. There could be situations where you could condense them and make that something different, but they could all be written with a 2 pi k. So because of the nature of how A, B, C, and D, how those intervals overlap, I'm just trying to save time by stealing answers that I've already found that I know are going to work on the next interval. Because I know that 0 to 2 pi is inside of this interval, right? So all of my answers from A are automatically answers in C. Is that okay? Similarly, all of my answers in A are also going to be answers in D, right? So that's what I'm saying there. That's the k equals 0 part. So for this set of problems, yes, you're always going to be using k equals 0. Now, in that case, for parts, if we're comparing A and C, I'm always going to be short the stuff that could be smaller, right? So I would always be using k equals negative 1 for these problems because that's the stuff that's smaller. That's what you're asking? So it's really specific to the intervals that are in this problem, not just in general. Does that You're welcome. Okay. Are we ready to do D? Okay. So D, I think, was negative pi to 4 pi, like this, right? Is that right? Okay. So all of my answers for A lie inside this interval, right? Everybody agree with that? So I'm just going to recopy those answers because I know all of those work. So this is my stuff from 0 to 2 pi, right? I also could have answers, though, from negative pi to 0. Everybody agree with that? So to find the intervals here, I need to get something smaller. So we'll do k equals negative 1. So these are going to be the same values from part C. But I need to check to make sure that those are actually inside the interval from negative pi to 0. Negative 11 pi over 6 is too small, right? Negative 11 over 6 is less than 1. So that one shouldn't be there. As the same with negative 7 over 6. That is also too small. That one shouldn't be there. The only one I want is negative pi over 2. Because that's the only one that's in between 0 and negative pi. Is that okay? Now, from 2 pi to 4 pi, those are bigger than our answers for A. So we need the next biggest k. That'll be k equals 1. So I'm just going to be adding 2 pi to each of these, each of my answers in A. So 13 over 6 is 2 1/4, or 2 1/6. So that's in the interval. 17 pi over 6 is what? Like 2 5/6. That's in the interval. 7 over 2 is 3.5. That's still in the interval. If I checked again at k equals 2, everything is going to be too big. So my answers are these three, this one, and these three. Delaney. I just took this answer and added 2 pi to it. Is that okay? Does anybody feel even somewhat good about this homework assignment right now? Okay. What do you need? Do you just need time to work on this and ask questions? No, that's fine. Take the rest of their time today. You can work on this and ask questions. You can work together. You can come talk to me. But no, that's okay. Go ahead. Whatever's on Power School right now. We're not adding anything new. Okay? So if you have questions on things, come up and ask me. If you feel like you're stuck on something or you just need some confirmation or whatever, come bother me. But I'm going to get out of your way and let you try some stuff and see if you can figure out how to do this and get better at it. Okay? Does that work for everybody? Okay. Yeah. And it's okay to come in and be like, yo, I just need to, I don't know what's going on. We need to work on this and ask stuff. That's okay. Like, just be honest with where you're at. I'm not going to be mad about it. I know you guys try very hard. Delaney. No, that's perfectly fine. Sure. Those of you at home, again, you're welcome to stick around if you want to, but it seems like we're just going to be working on homework here the rest of the hour. So if you guys want to sign out and go somewhere more comfortable to work, you're welcome to do that. If you want to stick around, you're welcome to do that too. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. Okay. Let me know. And if you have questions, certainly chime in and ask. It's perfectly fine. Jessica, I have an old paper for you. Christopher, I have an old paper for you. Brooke, I have an old paper for you. Caroline, I have an old paper for you. You're welcome. Elizabeth's at home. Ben, I have an old paper for you. You're welcome. And then the rest of these are not you guys. Hi.
Sorry.
That's okay. You can just like here.
So, for this one, I got x equals 0 and x equals pi, so I could just do like x equals 0 plus pi k.
Yes, you could combine that together into one. Exactly right.
All right, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.